Well, why don't you start by introducing yourself, your name, your title, and the organization that you represent?
I'm Ziggy Arfeen. I
Mm-hmm.
am with HSS Health, which is a part of HSS, which is the
Mm-hmm.
Hospital of Special Surgery, which is an academic medical center in orthopedics based here in New York City, with some satellites
Mm-hmm.
across the tri-state area in Florida.
That's great. So is this your first HITLAB summit, or have you been to these before?
I've been to the HITLAB, the previous HITLAB summit,
Mm-hmm.
and this one, and I'm both. Well, I'm attending,
Mm-hmm.
meeting vendors,
Mm-hmm.
meeting other HITLAB attendees, and speaking also.
Yeah. So what keeps you coming back to the summits? What made you, from the last time you attended to this one, what did you want to continue to get out of it? And how do you think it benefits you, the people who attend, and HSS?
So I think of this in probably two or three different ways.
Mm-hmm.
One is particularly thinking about healthcare technology. It's a dynamic and evolving field. So one is to keep a finger on a pulse, if I can make that analogy, and see where things are moving, how things are moving along. The other is relationships. These are creating new relationships, sustaining old relationships, and it's generally rare to get a chance to be in person more these days. And then third, for particularly thinking from the organization's perspective, I think what is helpful is just maintaining some of these relationships and knowledge goes together in somewhere within the ecosystem of thinking and understanding to then inform the work that we might do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of to a similar vein, how do you see HSS Health changing in the future in terms of adopting some of the new technology and new developments in digital health that you see at these summits and in general?
So at HSS Health, and maybe to say the part of the role is creating new technology companies on behalf of HSS and learning about either where the trends are in both good ways, bad ways, who's out there, what's happening. That all just helps inform what might be the next ideas to assess and then take forward to create.
Yeah, absolutely. So, going off of that, what do you think are some of the, next steps in digital health? What are some trends that you've been tracking? Where do you see the future of it going in general?
And in this, there's a lot of it doesn't change year to year. So if I think between now and the HITLAB summit before, there's not much in that short time period that changes, but it's over 10, 20 years where things dramatically change. I think a couple of things that are clearly coming to the fore and picking up pace. One is artificial intelligence, which now just has more recognition, cultural acceptance. The technology in a way has been there, always will be there, can always keep evolving, but it's more about both from the patient side and the provider side saying, okay, this is something we can't escape from and actually we should embrace, and we see more the virtues. So I think that's really been a big trend. The second was what I was speaking on here, which was on remote patient monitoring. And there's a sense that we're seeing more and more, particularly labor supply being in short supply, and the possibilities that technology gives, with then a preference for going more to prevention rather than cure. And so remote patient monitoring allows that. Again, the devices, they get smaller and smaller. The things that you measure get more and more. More importantly is it's getting more reimbursement. And again, there's an acceptance that actually I don't need to be there all the time, and we can do these things safely. So they're going to forever continue evolving. They're not day-to-day commonplace yet, but we hope we're on the wave where they will be.
Yeah. So, how do you think this development of remote patient technology is going to impact the accessibility of healthcare in the long term?
And the immediate answer is it makes it more accessible. There's a layered answer, which is with a lot of technologies, particularly remote patient technology, the places that tend to adopt them first tend to be the more the ones that are already technologically advanced, and the ones that already provide maybe those with more privileged access already, with just more of what they already get to a higher level. But generally, as technology follows the adoption curve, it would eventually scale out to then be your norm in whichever rural community or any type of setting that you are. And with remote patient technology in particular, it's also even just out of healthcare settings altogether. So with consumer-driven devices, there's a sense that maybe you don't actually, it won't be part of healthcare, so to speak. It'll just be part of life.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great points. So I was wondering, for the rest of your time here at the summit, what are there any particular speakers or topics that you're interested in listening to? If there's anything that's like, oh, I definitely have to catch that topic. Are there any of those, or are you just here to kind of take everything in, hear what people have to say?
It's really more of a wide lens view. So I think this summit does a good job of getting both life sciences and care delivery combined together under healthcare technology, but all the different aspects of it. And what's interesting to me is really thinking about how is all that linking together. Because on any individual topic, you can probably go to a conference on any single individual thing or read about it. But what I like here is the array of those. And that includes, again, the people and the conversations that you can have. And so here I am on day one.
Yeah, here you are. And it is great exposure. And it was so great talking to you, Ziggy. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today, answer my questions. Your responses were very much appreciated and very insightful. So good luck to you and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks, Sam.